Well, what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to talk a little bit about our community. Now, before you go anywhere, if you're just like here for the investment stuff, if you don't care about it, if you're just like a player, I think this is really important. I think there's a lot of things that matter for you that we're going to talk about in this video. So give me 10 minutes of your day. Come on, give me 10 minutes of your day. We're going to talk a little bit about our community. There's some stuff to chat about. Things are going really good. Our community has been a stellar, example of what a community should look like in a game like this. Actually, it's been a revolutionary example of what a game should look like, of what a community should look like, that's revolved around, like, I don't know, like these little cardboard plastic things, right? Like, come on, like, we're built around this stupid stuff, right? Like, it's crazy to me, some of the things that have happened for us as a community revolving around that. Right? It's crazy. I'm a part of a few groups that chat together every single day. Like, I'm not joking. Like, we talk to each other every single day. It's like one of the first things I do when I get up in the morning is like a chat. I look at the chat between me, Mitch, and George. I look at the chat between me and Andrew and a bunch of the guys from our Discord server. Like, in our Discord server, people play games together during their lunch break at work. Like, there's things like the relationships that we built around Flesh and Blood, even though we're like in this weird pandemic and people are like across the country or across the ocean, like, the relationships are real. They're really solid. And I would say, like, some of us have even, I don't want to overstep a little bit, but I would say that, like, some of us have even, like, met our best friends, like, closest friends in this kind of community or in this world. Like, something happens and there's some communication around it. And we've found these people that we find something in common with, and we've been kind of encapsulated because of COVID, and now the world's opening. And I think I want to celebrate a few of the big things. You know, we're going down to MegaCon this year. Like, I feel like the world is getting back together. Like, I just sent out a message to all my patrons saying, hey, we are going to MegaCon. We will be there. It's like August 15th. Like, you're invited to. Everyone's invited. We're going to MegaCon August 12th through the 15th. And to me, it's like this weird world where it's like, we're going back to normal. And I thought it'd be interesting to talk about, like, what does that mean? I mean, there's things to talk about what does it mean for the game. We'll get there because I think it's also connected to, like, what does that mean for us as a community. I want to celebrate a couple things as a community that we've done. We have fundraised tens of thousands of dollars, not just on my channel, but in the community, Flesh and Blood on Seals too, for Alzheimer's awareness and for ALS awareness and for ALS research. I mean, we have fundraised tens of thousands of dollars to help like mitigate diseases and things that mean a lot to us. I know Kale McCrest, the charity drive that Matt Rogers was putting on, there's been incredible, like, financial things raised to battle these diseases, and that's a huge part of our community. And I love that our community has, like, come together to battle those things that are near and dear to our hearts. There's a quote that I love. It says this: "There's no power for change than a community discovering what it cares about." And as we wrap up this kind of COVID, Flesh and Blood, 2 years of, like, living in this, like, weird world, and we're all, you know, a bunch of us got our vaccines and we're getting back together, and I want to think about a little bit, like, what do we care about that we want to see change happen? And as I was, like, really processing that, one of the things I thought about was when I was first playing Magic the Gathering. Actually, I had been playing for 4 or 5 years, and I moved, and I got to this new place, and some of you guys have heard this story if you've been on my channel for a while, but I got to this new place in West Virginia, and I went to play, like, my first Commander game, and I bought a Commander deck, and I put it together, and whatever, and I didn't know anyone, and I showed up at this LGS, and I walked in. And when I walked in to play Commander, I said, hey, there's a Commander night. Hey, anybody want to play Commander? And I walked into this room with, like, 6, 7, 8 people, and, like, everyone just looked at me. And nobody, like, I just asked, I was like, hey, does anybody want to play Commander? And everybody was just like, and And it was like I have never in my life felt so rejected. It was the most unwelcoming atmosphere I had ever been involved in. And I think one of the things that we've learned about Flesh and Blood is that there's a lot of things we didn't want to carry over from Magic the Gathering culture and the way that things kind of just got weird. And I really hope that as we move and migrate towards in-person play, that we would remember as a community not just to be kind to one another, but to go above and beyond, to be intentionally welcoming to one another. And I think there's a huge change. This is kind of what this video is going to be talking about. I'm sorry, we're like, we're 5 minutes in this video. I haven't even said what we're really talking about. What I want to talk about in this video is I think there's a huge change coming. We have the Channel Fireball. If you were watching my my Crucible of War market update, Channel Fireball has been buying non-foil Majestics like crazy on TCG Player. A lot of people reporting it to me. In September, we have the Calling coming in the U.S. Like there's a change coming. Like the reason that the whole Channel Fireball thing alerts me is like they are preparing for like in-store events or play or something happening, not just at Channel Fireball, but some global thing or worldwide, or not worldwide, sorry, countrywide thing where we're going to be coming together to play Flesh and Blood. And like my thing is like, what if we've done all these trades with each other and like we know each other on Discord and we've never met each other. Like I want to remind you that like the person that you might be sitting across from in one of these events could be one of the people that helped you out to get the card that you wanted or helped you out on this online armory event 3 months ago or whatever. And so I want to take a second to realize that as a community, we have a big change coming where we are moving from solely online to now this like mixture of online and in person. I was talking to some people in my armory event who were like, literally like, I hope that we keep doing these because like I have nowhere to play this game within an hour and a half of me. And so like I also hope as we move to the real world and we play together in the Flesh and Blood, I hope we don't lose sight of the fact that it has been online armory events and online skirmishes and all these online things that have brought us close together and have brought us Discord servers and Facebook groups and whatever that have brought us close together in a way that we didn't ever really think was possible. And so I hope that those things really continue. Like I hope we just add the in-person play and don't remove the Discord stuff and the hanging out and all that thing, because I do think that there's a good chunk of people who simply do not have the local scene to continue to really divulge into this game. And so I just wanted to kind of like hit this roadblock to ask you as a viewer, ask you as a community member, like, what do you believe this community is about? Because to me, it's more than just this card, right? Like, it's more than just that. Like, it's got to be more than a card in order for this community to be worth it to me. Like, it's got to be more than that. So as we get into this like real life play, I want to remind ourselves, I keep going to these things, like, I was watching The Calling, right, in Auckland, I think it was in Auckland, wherever it was in New Zealand. I don't know any other names in New Zealand, so I'm guessing it was in Auckland. And all these New Zealanders were laughing, and they're having a good time, and they were being competitive and whatever, but they were just having fun, and like, I'm excited for that. But I hope that we don't lose also what we've gained in that, like, a global game where you can play skirmishes. And I mean, we have people in our armor events from Canada. We have people from this week. We had people from Hong Kong. I mean, it's like an incredible opportunity to have this global reach in a game. And I hope we don't lose sight of that, is what I'm saying. So remember to be kind to the people around you as we get into local play. Remember to build some decks for people, to show up to your armor event with like 1 or 2 extra, Blood Stacks to hand to the people around you. Just an encouragement for you to really invest in your community, wherever that may be, whether that's online still or in person. Remember to invest in the people around you to help spread this awesome game, because this is the key moment. I'm telling you, there's a tide changing. The non-foil Majestics tell me that Channel Fireball is buying, tell me that they are gearing up for this mega thing. I really think, for those of you who are still watching, I really think September, the poster that they put on there. September, I really think there's some big stuff going on in the USA around that time. Gen Con's happening around that time. I know there used to be some card games that did major events there, and I think that this could be a very, very, very important thing in a couple months for Flesh and Blood. Hope you guys have a great day. Remember to be kind to the people around you, especially if you're actually around them, like in-person play.